Hi, we're Guppy Gang. I'm TJ.
I'm Peter. I'm Johnny.
To start off our design process, we came up with 150 solutions for our problems. And from those 150 problems, we got our problem statement of cleaning gunk from fish tanks is difficult and non-efficient for non-professional cleaning owners. We contacted a few experts. We contacted people that own businesses that have to do with fish tanks and places like Birds and Beasts where they do have aquariums and fish tanks where they clean it on regular. And Patrick Kirksey was our biggest help with his 35 plus years of experience with fish tanks. And from the experts and what we got from them, we got from the gravel vac is the only reliable thing on the current market for cleaning. And water changes and gravel cleaning is very difficult and time consuming. We sent out a survey. We posted it in some Discords and sent it out through email to people that have fish tanks. And from our results, we got that most people clean their fish tank over 3 times a month. And the biggest issues with how they clean the fish tank right now are time and efficiency. More of that.
So some of the current products that are out there are the gravel vacs that you just use siphon ability to get all the gunk from underneath the rocks. There's also underwater filters that sit underneath the rocks and suck all of the gunk from the bottom and filter it back up to the top. This is our decision matrix, everything highlighted. It is the best scores, the ones that we decided to do our ideas off. These were our top 3. Then we ended up going with the vacuum under the rocks or under the floor as our solution. These are some of the sketches for it. This is a rendering of what we wanted it to look like. And during our prototyping, we ended up having the glass break because we used acrylic to cut a hole in the back, but it didn't work. And then moving forward, we didn't want to use any glass. We decided to make it less invasive and use it based on current products. And some of our inspiration were vacuum heads that you use around your house. And then these were some of our new designs and first prototypes.
So we conducted 30 tests, and from those 30 tests, kind of them all, most of them are very simple, like will it hurt a fish? Will it hurt a fish? Does it affect the water levels? But our main tests that we really wanted to focus on were the timing. We wanted it to be quicker, we wanted it to be more efficient, and the cleanliness of the tank, because obviously if it's more efficient but it doesn't clean enough, we got a problem there. So when we did those 2 tests, just to break it down a little bit, our rake attachment, which you see right these, those are like the ones we mainly tested. The other ones were like back burner ideas. In case one didn't work, we could always switch around or work on them a little bit. And so it took a little longer to get 50% of the water out. We just let the thing drain, see how it did. And then when it came to the cleanliness, the rake was too tall. So when you ran it across the bottom, it was too tall, so it wasn't sitting on the rocks to pull the gunk up. But what it did do is it did disturb the rocks in a way we wanted. So the gunk was able to kind of come from underneath the rocks and kind of start floating up where it could have been sucked up. But from our testing, we figured out that the standard gravel vac was still more efficient and better. So we knew that we had to keep trying and keep working at it. And then after we did all those tests, we decided to give our product to some consumers and experts. And this is all their stuff, but what they mainly said is on the bottom right, is the people like the concept that you can have different attachments for different uses. And the feel and ease of use, how all you had to do is put it on and it just worked really well. But what they disliked was the cost. They're not so wanting to pay for just all of their attachments. And then the sizing for smaller tanks, because if you have a smaller tank, it's there's so much stuff in there you might not be able to access it all. And then it wasn't any better than without anything. So using all that, we moved forward to prototype 2. And we decided to improve on the suction power, and that we needed it to get more of that waste. We didn't want to leave the tank dirty and basically do nothing to it. So these are our second prototype too. The one on the far right is our main tester. We call it our prongs. And so when we tested, the way this works is basically it was actually quicker to drain with it, and it covers a lot more surface area than without it. And it was a little too powerful because the tiny holes allowed for a lot of suction power, and it ended up like holding rocks, and we didn't want that. And so what we would continue on to prototype 3 if we had more time is we'd space out the prongs a little more, because as you went down on top of a rock, it would grab the rock in between and get wedged. We would make the holes smaller so they can't actually get in, and then we just keep working at it, keep powering through, and hoping to make perfect prototypes.
5:50 was your time.
Start over here.
Okay, so it seemed like you guys were reading off the slides a lot. Granted, not saying it's bad or anything, but it also kind of prompted Johnny to walk in front of the slideshow, which is more like distracting. It just seems like that was.
He wanted to click the computer.
Yeah, I kind of. And then there was just a lot of words, so it's just sometimes overwhelming. Like reading that and trying to listen and going back and forth. I just need more patience.
For your 150 solutions and your final problem statement, this is just a suggestion, but like I couldn't really see your list, and we also did the parts where it's like less than that, so like ideas that we probably want to pursue. So why don't you just like use like 5 or 10 as like examples and then go to your final problem statement.
When you go to your test slide, number 16.
Info and part. That was just like a quick.
Yes, Mr.
Oh.
2 L's.
Johnny, you were definitely a little bit up there, like a little distracted. It's had been distracting.
ADHD is a great thing.
You know, but overall, I feel like Johnny was a really good speaker. TJ and Peter seemed to have a little bit more enthusiasm when they're presenting. Yeah, I could kind of tell. Maybe a little louder. Your problem statement. I was thinking it needs to be like a little more like background data maybe. Like take something from your survey that you had or something like that. And also maybe like your survey slide. Okay, the one before that. I think this is like unnecessary. I don't really think they're gonna care about like what you asked. It's more about like what your results were.
For your slides, like in the beginning, you kind of have a lot. You have a lot of like empty space. You have like a bunch of small words. Like so go to like the where like your experts are. Go like after that, where like the information they gave you. Like you have a lot of like empty space, and when you actually like you actually have like, the font was way too small to actually see. You could use a lot more space. There's going like forward more. You also have like literally one sentence on the screen with nothing else. It was all white. It's not really like
Are you talking about
like,
right? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, like that. It's like you're not using all the space you have, and you could use that to make it bigger or like add pictures and like say like because again it's harder to see for the back because we're gonna have like because of that and also for like the slides where the pictures were. I like how you're trying to move from pictures to pictures, but you're also overlapping the older pictures, which is kind of just like doesn't really seem professional when you have overlapping the previous pictures.
Okay. So just like remove the old picture.
Yeah, it's just your slides. Your presentation was okay. It's just that your slides could use a little bit more work. It's just to make it look better.
Go ahead.
Johnny, I'm not sure what slide you really started, but you had a really strong start. But like towards the end, I felt like you started rushing a little bit and like not really covering as much as you could have for like coming towards the end of the project, where like the nitty gritty stuff happens and how much your product actually is better than or worse than actually what's out there for consumers. So I just feel like maybe spend a little bit more time on the ending rather than where you started.
Couple more
I
questions.
started panicking. I was like, ah.
This slide specifically is when you go over like more on your solution, like your likes and dislikes, you can remove some of that information and actually like speed that information instead of
Without having it on there.
throwing it on there because it looks a little bit too dense.
Right.
Just a quick question. How come your like little logo is like 6 pixels total?
Because he can't Photoshop. That's my picture.
I'm sorry that the website TJ got it for only put it in like 2 or 3 pixels.
Hey, I didn't want to pay like $20 for a logo.
Well, then maybe just.
Pixeler.
Maybe just
Use,
make
I just snipping tooled it.
Maybe like a
Yeah, they're like raised flag. I got that was like.
All right, one more question. One more question. Or one more comment.
So, you kept saying how like your thing wasn't